So Joseph Parker has announced today that he'll be signing a three-fight deal, or that he has signed a three-fight deal with Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and DAZN. Okay, now his first fight with DAZN and Matchroom is going to be June 29th. It's going to be on Demetrius Andre's world title defense, and it's going to be against Eric Molina. Okay, now David Higgins, who was the original promoter with Duco Events of Joseph Parker, will now be managing Joseph Parker. Okay, now two things I want to get off. I want to talk about the promotional deal with Joseph Parker. I also want to talk about his upcoming fight with Eric Molina. Okay, now the first question I have about this promotional deal is a three-fight deal with Eddie Hearn Matchroom. That's all well and good. Joseph Parker, as far as I was aware, had a deal with Bob Arum when he was fighting in the States. Now, that was something that I was aware of. Whether he has that deal or not anymore, I don't know, but I'm assuming he does it because he's working with Eddie Hearn now. So, that's fair enough. Eddie Hearn and Joseph Parker, I've felt since the Dylan White fight that there's always been an unofficial official deal in place between Eddie Hearn and Joseph Parker, because the way he was speaking about Joseph Parker going into the Dylan White fight and then post Dylan White fight, it sounded like he was already a matchroom fighter, just without Eddie Hearn coming out and saying it, so to speak. So, am I surprised he signed with Eddie Hearn Matchroom? No, I'm not. I think that it's a good move. I think that it makes some more of these heavyweight fights more realistic. It makes fights against someone like a Michael Hunter. He could possibly have a rematch with Carlos Takam. Alexander Usyk is there if he decides to stay at Matchroom. As I said in the video a few weeks back, I have heard a rumour that he is looking to leave Matchroom. As I said, it is a rumour, it might not be true, so it's not a gospel, don't take it as that. But, if with Joseph Parker with Eddie Hearn now, it makes fights like that more realistic to make. It makes the Derek Chisora fight easier to make as well, because there has been talk about that fight for a while now, about Chisora versus Parker. So it makes fights like that more realistic, assuming he gets by his next opponent, which would be Eric Molina. Now, to talk about that fight, Eric Molina, again, not the fighter I would necessarily have picked for Joseph Parker. I would have preferred to see him in there against someone like, maybe a rematch with Takam or a Michael Hunter, or even possibly Derek Chisora. Even David Price or Dave Allen, I think would be I think they'd be more game than an Eric Molina. Eric Molina, for those who don't know, he fought Deontay Wilder back in 2015. He was stopped in 9 rounds. He came to fight. He gave a good account of himself, to be fair, and he did kind of buzz Deontay Wilder a little bit in one of the rounds. But he was down a couple of times, and he was eventually taken out and stopped. And then he got another crack at the world title, this time against Anthony Joshua in December 2016. Joshua took care of him in 3 rounds, no questions asked. I do think he came more to fight against Deontay Wilder than he did against Anthony Joshua. But Eric Molina has always been a fringe contender of a heavyweight. He was taken out in a round by Chris Arreola back in 2012, 2013, and lost his pro debut. So he's been beaten a couple of times. His best win would probably be Adamek. I know he fought Adamek before he fought Joshua, and he was losing that fight against Thomas Adamek until he landed a right hand late in that fight and took Adamek out. So Molina is not the greatest heavyweight in the world, not the best heavyweight you'll ever see. Not great punch resistance, to be fair. So am I looking forward to him against Parker? I think it's a routine fight for Parker. It should be a nice win. Probably get the stoppage in that fight, which is always nice. But I would like to see Parker maybe go up against somebody a little bit more higher class, because he had his comeback fight there in December. I forget who it was, but he took him out in 3 rounds. And I think there's better fights to be made than the likes of your Eric Molinas of the world. As I said, I think maybe a Dave Allen or Michael Hunter, even a Carlos Takam rematch, it'd be more of a game opponent than I think an Eric Molina would be. But anyway, those are my thoughts on this. I think it's a good move moving forward for Joseph Parker, joining with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Definitely do. Be interesting to see how David Higgins fits in with the role as manager. Be interesting to see. But no, I definitely see this as being a good move for Joseph Parker. If he wants the Dylan White rematch, I think that might be easier for him. But I do see him going down the Derek Chisora route before we see him in there with someone like a Dylan White, or maybe get another crack at a world title. I'd be surprised if we don't see the Chisora fight now at this stage, to be honest with you. So let me know what you think down below. Is it a good move for Joseph Parker? Are you happy with it? Do you think he should have stayed put if he was with Bob Arum? Do you think he should have stayed there? Or are you happy he's moved on with Eddie Hearn? Leave it all down below. Let me know what you think. As always, if you like the video, please like it. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will talk to you after.